Hello, welcome to our special edition. Here today we have a very distinguished guest. Joining me now is His Excellency Ambassador Dr. Asad Khan, Secretary General of the Economic Cooperation Organization. Warm welcome to our small studio here.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure and honor to be part of this conversation today.
Thank you very much. So, Mr. Ambassador, I will definitely start asking you about today's event. There are so many participants from different parts of the world who are coming today at this platform, 12 Global Baku Forum, which will definitely contribute to strengthening regional and broader cooperation. Therefore, what are your expectations? What about the key challenges countries are facing and planning to discuss them today?
Well, I must say that this is my first attendance of the Baku Forum, and I can say this to you that I am really very excited after attending the inauguration today and after hearing a list of very distinguished speakers, including, of course, His Excellency President Aliyev. And the way he laid it out, the President himself, in terms of describing and explaining the geopolitics and the adjustments and actions that Azerbaijan is taking to advance its economic growth and development and to protect and preserve its security in a very dynamic and evolving global geopolitical environment. And we heard from other speakers also. So I'm looking to a very productive few days. I am here to contribute whatever little I can based on my experience and long years in diplomacy and my current position. But I'm also here to learn because you are absolutely right. I think the world is going through a very tough and dynamic geopolitical environment, and we need to make adjustments. And in that regard, the kind of people that this forum has gathered, I think we will hear some very interesting insights, very good ideas on the way forward, inshallah.
Well, Mr. Ambassador, indeed very interesting. Azerbaijan has very strategically important geographical location, contributing much to the development of transport and energy links. I would like to hear from you more about the contribution, the role of Azerbaijan to benefiting the organization itself and the expected summit to take place in summer this year.
I usually say this, mostly behind closed doors, that Azerbaijan in many ways is our role model member in terms of the contributions that you make to the work of the organization, in terms of the events that are regularly hosted by Azerbaijan. You have actually already you are hosting two, the ECO Clean Energy Center and also the ECO Research Center together with the ECO Journal. So of the so-called non-founding members of ECO, Azerbaijan, of course, has made the most outstanding contributions. And in 2023, Azerbaijan also chaired the ECO Council of Ministers process, and in Shusha we had our Council of Ministers meeting, and then this year we are looking forward to being hosted for the 17th ECO Summit here in Azerbaijan on 3rd and 4th of July, which we are working together with the Azerbaijan Embassy in Tehran and, of course, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the President's Office to make it a landmark event, to make it a substantive step forward in making ECO more energetic and more productive organization.
Well, Mr. Ambassador, we do face a lot of challenges and changes in the global world, especially from the economic and energy science perspectives. Then new initiatives which is coming out from White House since the time Donald Trump took his presidency. So what are the key mechanisms the organization can use to foster the economic cooperation among the member states?
I think that's a conversation that we will have during the next 2-3 days here in Baku, because we are witnessing a shift, a certain desire to regain the so-called sovereign space that countries had ceded to be part of the multilateral processes and to be part of the globalization. That seems to be under stress now. So in that environment, frankly, I feel that regionalism has a greater role to play, where regions have to come together as an important building block for cooperative multilateralism. And because when we look at our problems, all problems, whether these are security conflicts, whether these are development and growth related challenges, there is always a regional context to that. So in that way, ECO and all other regional organizations, I think, and the regional processes, in my view, should not be seen as a zero-sum choice vis-a-vis multilateralism. It can actually be a very important building block to a more cooperative and beneficial world.
Mr. Ambassador, recently, relatively recently, Azerbaijan hosted COP29, a very important event where approximately 80,000 participants came from around the globe. And definitely green energy transition, cooperation among the countries was among the key topics discussed. And I do think that ECO also has its own plans to foster cooperation between of member states, taking into account these green energy transition processes. Would you please share with us?
Again, I think President alluded this also during his speech today in terms of the role present and the potential role that Azerbaijan has, not only in terms of its energy export potential, but also in terms of its renewable energy export potential, and the linkages that it has created with Europe. You know, from ECO's perspective also, you know, Azerbaijan is central to our north-south corridor. Azerbaijan is central to our east-west corridor also. And not only that, but we are also working on this regional energy markets initiative. So I think the potential for Azerbaijan's integration, not only with Europe and the West, but also with our and your historic partners, you know, in all of Central Asia, with Turkey, with Pakistan, with Afghanistan, because these are the linkages that actually join our countries, and we have, in fact, thousands of years of historic overlap. So in terms of energy cooperation, you have already decided to host the Clean Energy Center. So it is not just the conventional fuel and energy that you have a role to play, but also in the renewables also. And as your potential for production grows up, it becomes even more important for Azerbaijan to get linked with the rest of the region that we are already working on. And we see Azerbaijan as a very important player in that regard.
Mr. Ambassador, and one more question. You know, in these global changes, some countries prefer to use its position, superpower, to promote its own interest, let's say. That's why small countries feeling dissatisfaction with the role of the international institutions and international organization. But from your answer, I can understand that ECO has its own position, where the countries have its, let's say, special status without intervention from the outside to the domestic issues, but at the same time having intention to foster the cooperation. So what will be your special message to address the participants of today's forum about the future and the approach they should form?
As I said that first of all, what is really important is for us to understand exactly what is going on, because to not be able to accurately read and assess the trends, because as I said, countries are seeking to regain the sovereign space that they had ceded to become part of the globalization process. So what is happening in the United States today, and if I were to say the so-called Trump phenomena, is it a one-off thing? Or is it a pattern and a cultural shift that we are seeing in a country that has dominated the world in the post-Cold War world, you know? And then how do we make the adjustments where we create those win-win situations, you know? And that's really my message for us is to not react to these developments in a way that would basically put us on a collision course, but to accurately analyze it with a view to see how we can actually address those insecurities that are producing the kind of responses that we are getting, you know. Because if it is happening in one country and if it is happening for the second time, it may actually happen in other parts of the world also. And that's where I believe that relying more on regionalism, not seeing regionalism as zero-sum vis-a-vis multilateral approaches, and to see regionalism as a building block for a more cooperative world, because our ability to resolve our issues at the regional level can then help us to create more seamless and more cooperative international order that we, I think, all should be working for.
All right, Mr. Ambassador, thank you so much for joining our discussion today.
It's a pleasure. It's always great to be here in Baku, you know, and I certainly look forward to a very productive summit, inshallah, in July this year, and looking forward to working with our hosts to make it really a landmark and memorable event in the history of ECO.
We wish you good luck. Once again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.